Today we're going to be talking about dimensional analysis. And dimensional analysis is something that's used throughout the whole chemistry course in almost every single problem when converting units. And basically, in simple terms, dimensional analysis is doing the problem based on the units. So when you're doing dimensional analysis, you have basically three parts. You have the given units, then the given units are basically what you're starting out with, whatever units they give you to start off with, and then what you use those units to convert to something else. And then another thing you're given are conversion factors. Okay, and then using the conversion factors on the given unit or units, you get the answer. So, you already know what given units are. Let's talk about conversion factors. What are conversion factors? So let me draw a line right there. A conversion factor is basically, it could be something very simple, such as 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. That right there is a conversion factor because it's two different units in which you know how they are equal to each other. 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So another way you can write that is like this. One foot divided by 12 inches. There is your conversion factor. Right there. And another one that you can write it. So this is basically saying for every 1 foot you have 12 inches. But another way you can say is you can say for every 12 inches you have 1 foot. So these two are basically not equal to each other mathematically, but conceptually. It's just saying it backwards. 1 foot per 12 inches, or 12 inches per 1 foot. So they're both the same exact thing. So basically, I know it looks very simple, but it's important that you understand that if you know that two things are equal to two different units are equal to each other, 1 foot, 12 inches, you can rewrite it as 1 foot over 12 inches, or 12 inches over 1 foot. So there is how I convert it. I know, like I said, very simple, but convert it, what I know, into conversion factors, just like that. If you can do that, then dimensional analysis will be very simple for you. So it's very important that you understand that for conversion factors, they are factors or ratios, but the numerator equals the denominator. Not mathematically, because 1 is not equal to 12, but the units, because we know that 1 foot is equal to 12 inches. So the numerator is equal to the denominator. If you have that down, then you have your conversion factors down. So let's try an example here. All right, let's put a line there. We got to start off very simple. We're going to say the problem is you have 2 feet, right? And they want you to convert it to how many inches? I know what you're thinking, like, Josh, it's too easy. But I know. I always do really easy ones when I first show the method, so you can see how easy the method is. You just got to change the numbers up. So 2 feet into inches. Okay, all right. Let's see how we do this. So when you get a problem, like, I know this is easy, but when you first get the problem, the first thing you do is you write the given units. Okay, and just to make it look nice, we're gonna put it over 1. It's still 2 feet because 2 divided by 1 is 2. And we're going to multiply it times a conversion factor. Okay, there's our conversion factor. I haven't filled in the units yet. So in the numerator, we want the units that we want, which is inches, because that's what the problem asks for. So I'm going to write inches there. Don't know how many inches yet, but I'm going to write inches. Okay, and in the denominator, I'm going to write feet, the given units, because we want them to cancel out. Okay, everything good so far? Now you have to remember that this whole part right here, that is a conversion factor. made it blue because you know that because I wrote conversion factors in blue. So this right here is a conversion factor. And like I said, in a conversion factor, the numerator has to equal the denominator. So you just got to think to yourself, how many inches is equal to how many feet? Well, just based on up here, we know that in 12 inches, there's 1 foot. So all you got to do is say, in 12 inches, there's 1 foot. Okay? So let's check ourselves right here. We got our given units. That's good. Nothing to check there. And then we're multiply it times the conversion factor, which is right here. Now, the important thing is, in the conversion factor, does the numerator equal the denominator? 12 inches is equal to 1 foot. Okay, so that's good to go. Now, here's the most important thing for dimensional analysis, the whole reason why we do it. For dimensional analysis, you're supposed to do the problems by the units. So let me pick a different color. We'll do orange. So let's see. Feet times inches divided by feet. Well, we know feet divided by feet, that basically cancels out. Okay? And remember, we're doing the problem just by the units. Just ignore the numbers for now. So we ignore the numbers, feet divided by feet, and we're left with nothing but inches. And that is what we want our answer to be in. So the problem works out perfectly for the units. If the problem works out perfectly for the units and our conversion factors are correct, then we know that this has to be the right answer. So 2 times 12, get my calculator, just kidding, 24 inches. So there we go. We just did it. That was pretty easy, right? Now let's bump it up a level. Okay, so how about this? We'll say, let's see, make something up. 30 inches. Yeah. Okay. And we want to convert that into how many yards? Convert that to yards. Alright. Okay, so 30 inches into yards. Now, the very first thing you should do, and for the last one we didn't do it because it was so simple, but when you have no idea what you're doing, the first thing you should do before you start writing out the whole dimensional analysis problem is you got to come up with a plan. Alright, so let's think of a plan. Blue can be our plan. And basically we got to think inches, and we have to get to yards. So this is going to be like our map. Now, do we know how many inches are in a yard? Let's pretend that we don't know off the top of our head. So we don't know the connection between inches and yards. But we do know how to get from inches to feet, because that's basically what we just did but backwards. And then we know how to get from feet to yards, right? We know that there's 12 inches in a foot and there's 3 feet in a yard. So therefore, we know how to go from inches to feet and then feet to yards. So we're simply going to do dimensional analysis twice. 1 step, 2 steps. Alright, so let's do this. We'll start off same process. We start off with our given units, which is inches, 30 inches. Throw it over 1 to make it look nice. Then we're going to multiply it times our first conversion factor. Now remember, we're going from inches to feet. Alright, so yeah, remember, we want our given units on the bottom and the units we want. So I know in the long run we want to get to yards, but right now we're taking it step by step. We want to go to feet first. So we're going to write feet. And then remember, in the conversion factor, the numerator has to equal the denominator. So in 1 foot, there's 12 inches. Alright, that looks nice. So let's put our equal sign. Alright, so 30 divided by 12 is 2.5. Whoa, we missed the whole point of dimensional analysis. We got to do the problem by the units first. Inches cancels out, and we get feet. So it looks good. So we have just went from inches to feet, right? So we are right there right now. We're right here. We're at feet. So now we got to take this 2.5 feet and convert it into yards. So let's do a different color. And green. So start a whole new, put it over 1, multiply, feet on the bottom, because we want it to cancel out, and yards at the top. Alright, now remember this thing right here, this is a conversion factor, so the numerator has to equal the denominator. So let's see. In 1 yard, there's 3 feet. Right? Yeah, that equals each other. We know that. So we put an equal sign, and then once again we'll do the problem by the units first, because this is dimensional analysis. So feet divided by feet cancels out, and you're left with, hope I have room, yards. Okay, so 2.5 divided by 3, and that's 0.83. Okay, there we go. That looks good. So what we did is we started off with we want 30 inches to yards. We made our plan. We know how to get from inches to feet, and then feet to yards, and then we just executed the plan. So we started off with 30 inches, put it over 1 to make it look nice, multiply it times the first conversion factor to get from inches to feet, and then conversion factor, the feet, 1 foot is equal to 12 inches, so the numerator does equal the denominator. Looks good. With the units cancels out and we do get feet, and so we just do the numbers. 30 divided by 12, we get 2.5, and then so we're right here in the plan. Now we got to get from feet to yards, so we do dimensional analysis again, which is right here. Multiply times this conversion factor. Units, the yards is what we want, so it goes on top, feet on the bottom, so it'll cancel out, and then numerator, 1 yard, is equal to the denominator, 3 feet, and then we check the units, feet cancels out, we get yards, and then we just do the numbers. 2.5 divided by 3 equals this number right here. So there we go. That was pretty simple, but you can make it look even nicer. So let's check this out. The 30 inches times the conversion factor equals this number. This number here, 2.5 feet, which is in the middle. We weren't done yet. We actually wanted to go to yards, so we took it and multiplied it times another conversion factor. So this equal sign right here, completely pointless. We didn't even need it. So another way we could have wrote it, I'm going to put it in brown. So I'm doing the same problem. 30 inches divided by 1 times the first conversion factor, 1 foot, same thing at the very top, or right above it, divided by 12 inches. Okay, so this is the first thing we did, and then we put an equal sign. But what's the point? Because once we put the equal sign, we're just going to multiply it times something else. So we're not going to put the equal sign. We're just going to keep going. So right now we're at feet, right here at this plan. And the next step is to multiply it times the conversion factor to get from feet to yards, which is right here. So I'm just going to take that and I'm going to put it right there. Boom. 1 yard over 3 feet equals, and so this whole process right here is just simplified from this whole thing right here. It's going to give you the same answer, 0.83 yards. And there you go. Okay, so I would like to keep going, but I'm running out of time, so I'm going to do another practice dimensional analysis problem in the next video, which is going to be a little more complicated. We'll take it to the next level.